Hello and welcome to another episode
Hello.
of Plus 63 HP Podcast Reviews Edition. I am one of your hosts, John Clemente, alongside with me here, here, my bestest best friend in the pig headset, CHUBAX. How you doing, man?
Yeah, I got some blue here. I got some blue, but yeah, I'm
There
good.
you go. Oh, new ear cups. New ear cups.
Uh, Starting to feel better from my crappy day, but yeah, happy to be back here and talking shit with you.
Awesome. I am happy to be here as well. We are happy that you guys are joining us. And if this is your first time on the channel, welcome. Thank you very much for the view. We hope that you share it with your friends and family. How do you share it? Well, you go onto your browser, you type in youtube.com plus 63HP, and you hit that like button, you hit that subscribe button, you drop in some comments and help us with the algorithms. We are also in all of the social medias. Feel free to interact with us through Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Our handle is at plus 63HP. If you don't want to watch our faces, even if we're on video on demand and you just want to listen to us in the background while you're working and doing your chores, hop onto your favorite podcasting app. Search plus 63HP. We're definitely going to be there. We prefer Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Amazon. But if you have the other one, Pandora, Bandcamp, just search us. We'll be there. Just a few programming reminders. We have videos dropping almost 4 times a week. Mondays and Tuesdays, we'll have videos and movies and shows that we review in said podcasting show, which is the reviews edition of Plus 63 HP. And then on Wednesdays, we drop our very first D&D campaign. So we're middle-aged people, never played D&D before. Started doing it a little close to a year now. We record our sessions, drop it as episodes on Wednesdays in our channel. On Thursdays, we react to a curated list of trailers, featurettes, clips, and short videos about cool content that is dropping in the near future, so we know what to be hyped about, and hopefully you can join us as well and get educated on what you guys want to possibly see in the future too. Housekeeping done. In this episode, we are discussing a very fun film, Thor Love
Love and
and Thunder. And again, this is a review show. We're going to be discussing some details, some spoilers. So we'll give that spoiler alert right before we do drop or we go through a quick synopsis of the video. But before that, we always want to give you a little bit of a non-spoilery instant reaction to the movie. Chubax, you saw the movie. I
mm-hmm.
did not approve of you hanging out with our friends, but you keep on violating that rule that no live movies together without me. But what you think about Thor Love and Thunder?
Yeah, I liked it. It was fun, but yeah, it wasn't as good as Ragnarok, or not even as good as Doctor Strange in my opinion.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it was fun. I don't know. Just some of the scenes just didn't feel as epic, or I don't know, as well
Mm-hmm.
written as the others for some
Yeah.
reason. So Chris Hemsworth was awesome though, and especially Christian Bale was amazing as well.
Oh yeah.
Every time he was on
Core.
scene was you know, really got your attention. But yeah, that's my initial reactions to that. How about
Uh,
you?
I'm I'm along the same lines where to be honest, I was disappointed with the movie. I had fun. I had so
Mm-hmm.
much fun, but I think the disappointment comes from how amazing, how groundbreaking, and how like universe shattering Ragnarok was. Because Ragnarok was the revelation not only about Thor, but Marvel in general, and Chris Hemsworth being like a dope ass comedic actor.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, I think our we had our or at least my expectations that were a little bit too high because I thought that this was gonna rock. You know, I thought that this was
Oh,
gonna be
I
super
was coming in
fun.
with tempered expectations. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
I
Something
yeah.
about the trailer kind of caught me off.
I was like loved the trailers. I knew it was kind of a little bit lo-fi, um, a little too colorful. But like I figured like this is Taika. This is like he'll probably do the thing. But again, it's not. The movie is not. bad.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not gonna rank high in my Marvel movie tier list, just because, you know, it felt, and I know that the writers, directors, the actors in this movie did everything that they can. It felt lazy to me. It felt that they had a little bit too much fun on set. I feel that it was a little bit too loose.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, maybe
uh,
that's
uh,
the thing.
uh, Sometimes, when you improvise or you do like some free takes, can, if it hits, it's gonna hit super hard. But because the hit rate of this particular uh movie is not, maybe I'm thinking like every other joke is funny. You have to be at 80%, 80% of jokes being funny if you want to keep on doing free flowing improvisation kind of stuff. But again, that's not to say that I did not laugh, I did not chuckle. There's so many lot of fun elements in this movie. And I was telling my friend a while ago, a few days, like the movie is fun. It's just not as funny as I wanted it to be. And then coupled with the fact that, um, you know, even if we come into a Marvel movie with no expectations, you're still going to have to think about, that's the problem with Marvel movies, is it's part of a universe. And I don't think this enhance the the universe thing. They introduced bigger, newer characters, but it wasn't in a way that it kind of elevated the current roster of movies that we already have. It wasn't like because well, Ragnarok was so one off, but like it's not like Madripoor in Captain America, where you just highlight or improve on the current world that we have. So for them, like I do love the idea of what had happened to New Asgard, but I think this was a little bit too self-contained to really have draw positive things from the universe or contribute to the universe that they're building. But in the end, it's still fun. And we can discuss a little bit further.
Mm-hmm.
With that, we'll run through the synopsis of the movie. So if you guys haven't seen the movie yet, this is where you pause. You don't stop. Pause this podcast first. Go watch the movie. After you watch the movie, come back and discuss with us. But a super cut plot of the movie is, we start with Gore and his daughter in a dying planet. They're both starving. Gore's daughter dies. Gore's a very devout person. He is uh, uh, P is continuously praying for their god. He is then drawn into an oasis in this desert where he himself was dying, and to see their actual god there, and a dead other god that has some form of weapon that is calling to Gore there as well. Then Gore realizes like all gods are dicks. So instead of continuously praising, he himself also, but possibly corruption of this necrosaur that was in said oasis as well, kind of influenced him to seek revenge and killing all and butchering all of these gods that he might be able to find. Cut to the Asgardians of the galaxy hopping different worlds, helping people in need. Fun sequence around there. But through one of the distress calls that they've received, Thor sees that there is a certain god killing person going around killing people's gods. One of the distress signals is from Sif. Thor decides to leave the Guardians of the Galaxy for a little bit so that the Guardians can answer other distress call, and then Thor can investigate further this god killing being. He realizes that the next target was New Asgard, so Thor goes to New Asgard while Gore was trying to take over said city. Um, is confronted with this new Thor, later discovered to be Jane wielding Mjolnir. and then they fight together, and then they talk about this distress signal, figure out that there is this person that is going about different worlds killing, and this person has the necro sword, a very very strong sword that is capable of killing gods. Thor, Jane, and
Wait, before that,
Valkyrie with yeah.
I do love how Christian Bale teleports. It's like it's so fast
Oh,
to
like
the
it
shadow.
goes so he the necro sword gives him kind of power over
Shadow.
darkness and shadow. He can summon shadow beings from it and also teleport from it. So it's super cool sword. There's a lot of lore around it in the actual Marvel universe, but in this universe, in the MCU, it's not clearly or it's not we haven't dove deep into it yet. Um, so in so Valkyrie, Thor, Korg, and Jane hatch up a plan to go to Omnipotence City to ask for help, build a team of gods to stop this god butcher. But in between that as well, while Thor and Jane is being reintroduced to the movie and to the team and to the series, we get like my favorite supercut of how Thor and Jane fell in love, but also fell out of love. You
That's
know, all
actually
about
nice.
work.
I like that.
That is one of the shining beacons in this particular movie that I love. Like, there's a lot of montages here. There's a lot of core narrating what had happened
Uh-huh.
before, and there's a little too much. But this
One
is
too
my favorite
many.
one. Yeah, it's my favorite one. Seeing that, how seeing how a superhero, technically a god, fall in love with a person, and them breaking up, and it's not necessarily about, it's not that the god part. It's actually the human part that kind of like broke him up because Jane got super busy with her theory of Jane Foster theory of relativity, and then Thor got busy with all the superhero stuff with Nick Fury. That's an Easter egg because like when Nick Fury calls Thor and his phone, it's called Nick Fury. But that's also where we kind of slide in the reason why Mjolnir called to Jane. So in the montage, Thor treating Mjolnir and Stormbreaker like actual people, like actual best friends. Like they're not just like tools in their hammer. Thor told Mjolnir, like, hey, promise me that you'll always take care of Jane. And then in this movie, also, we find out almost towards the start, as Jane is suffering through cancer. Her mom has suffered through the same. So she is dying and she couldn't figure out, or she tried to figure out science stuff to help her out. She was still stage 4, but she felt that Mjolnir was calling to her, so she visited New Asgard. And presumably that's where Mjolnir um, combined together. And then whenever Jane is in the Thor form, she is strong, she is healthy, she is virile. But every time that she reverts back to being a normal Jane person, all of the cancer treatment, much like in the comics, disappears. So it's both healing her while she's in Thor form, but also killing her whenever she gets out of the form.
Mm-hmm.
Which begs the question: just stay in fucking Thor form forever? Possibly she can really do that too. So that's another thing.
I think I was still
Skip
taking.
to yeah. Skip to Omnipotent City. They asked for Zeus's help, played by Russell Crowe.
You're not
But
invited to the
apparently,
orgy.
it's the best thing. I want to go to this god orgy as well. But
You're one word from me.
as yeah, recalling back to the start of the movie where we see Gore's god being a dick. Most gods are being a dick too. Like
Yeah.
it's true too though that the idea is like gods only control things that within their realm. So and also if they fight Gore and Gore has the necrosword can kill gods. They are putting themselves in a situation where they can get killed. But as long as they're hidden, they're safe. So lots of hijinks happen there too. In the end, um, Thor pierces Zeus through the chest, but with his own weapon, Thunderbolt. And then they take Thunderbolt as another tool weapon to fight against Gore. I totally forgot the part that Gore um,
Kidnaps
his
the child.
in his plan in getting to New Asgard, kidnap all the kids so that he can make a trap for Thor, because towards this part we now realize that Gore's plan was not really to kill gods one by one, because that's not efficient. He wanted to get to an entity called Eternity, where
Yeah.
whomever the first person getting to Eternity gets to grant a wish, and then he could then wish all gods to be dead. So in order for Gore to get to Eternity, he will need the Bifrost, which Thor's axe under Stormbreaker can call on. So he needs to make a trap for Thor by kidnapping the kids, drawing them to uh, what do you call this place? Shadow, the Shadow Realm,
Mm-hmm.
which indeed Thor and the group fell into because uh, Gore was just a little bit too powerful for them, and he had, he planned this trap. Um, at the last bits of the movie, uh, Thor will also Valkyrie gets injured, won't be able to go to the final fight. Jane, having admitted to Thor that she's dying of cancer and using Mjolnir is both the one that's killing her and using her. They kind of like have they skip the idea that this is going to be probably the last time that she could use, or if she uses Mjolnir one more time, she will actually die because she can't revert back. She was that in a weakened state. So that leaves Thor by himself to follow um, Gore to this special place where some higher beings and gods at this temple that they go to save the kids. And while fighting Thor, so this is a little bit too. He didn't have an army, but he did have Thunderbolt, and because Stormbreaker was taken from him, and he still has Zeus's Thunderbolt, so he's going to use Thunderbolt to fight against Gore. He didn't have an army, he didn't have Jane, didn't have Valkyrie, but what he did was imbue the power of Thor to all these kids that were kidnapped, so that they can then fight them for themselves, get the Stormbreaker, and then go back. Fine hijinks happens, so he was able to imbue his power temporarily. These kids, super cool. And then, but in the end, Gore was still able to open the door to Eternity. He was able to step in to Eternity. Jane even advised not to use Mjolnir again, uses a Valkyrie's Pegasus to teleport to the same place to help out Thor, because he was sensing that Thor was losing. They were able to tag team Gore, break and
Break the
destroy
sword.
the necromancer sword. But again, the door was still open, and then Gore was still able to step through Eternity's door and meet Eternity, giving him one wish in front of Eternity. Super cool last speech with
Mhm.
Thor and Jane.
And
Thor saying that he'd rather knowing that he's already beat, and Gore can just wish for all gods to die. He mentioned that he'd rather spend his last moments with the person that he loves, and then he kind of tries to convince Gore to say, like, instead of wishing of killing the gods, that's not going to make you feel better. Revenge is not going to make you feel better. Love will make you feel better. Just wish for your daughter's life again, so that you can see her again.
dude, that
But
I
yeah.
love that because that really caught me by surprise. Because
Mhm.
I didn't think about that, and he was like hell bent on revenge. And at first, I was turned off because oh, he's gonna change because of a speech at the last second by
Mhm.
Thor. But that that inception of you can bring her back. What the fuck are you doing? Like, yeah, that was like checkmate. Like, no matter how angry, if I can bring her back. Well, there's nothing else I can do. Like, shit, I'll bring her back.
It I kind of loved and hated that particular moment too, because it was smart, right? It was a smart tactic, right? That's the only way that you kind of win in this scenario. You're pressed against the wall already, but it was just a little too simple for me. It worked. I'm okay with it because the thing that we failed to mention there too is like necromancer corrupts the people that are using it. So Gore is dying, especially now without the necrosword. He is technically dying. So even if he was able to see his daughter again, it's only going to be a very very brief moment. And he was very very scared that nobody was going to take care of his daughter. And then Jane and Thor, or Jane made Thor promise that he would take care of Gore's daughter,
Love
and the name
is
assumedly
love.
is love. So that's why the movie title was Love and Thunder, which was a cool twist. I'm
Uh-huh.
not gonna lie. Um, Gore dies. We end the movie
Jane
with
dies.
Jane dies, and we end the movie as the same way that we're continuing it. Thor going through different worlds, helping people, helping species in need. The kind species. How does he find out whether that's kind species or not? I don't know, but the idea is like he's trying to help people in need with love by his side. So they didn't explain this well because this movie is very, very tight. I think this is one of the few movies that they should have made longer to get more set up, because we realized that when the funny end last scene is Thor cooking pancakes for love, love shooting eye beams at Thor because she's a kid and she goes through tantrums. But the setup for that is Thor and Love are both have or Love, because she was born
Of eternity.
of eternity, has some godlike powers. What powers? We don't know yet.
We don't know
But the
yet.
idea is that she has some powers. She has powers of a god, and then we realize at the end that these powers are strong enough for her to wield
Stormbreaker.
Stormbreaker. That is like that's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. I really
Yeah.
like that
And
bit. Uh,
she can't use Mjolnir anyways.
well, Mjolnir has
It's
some
either
worthiness factor of it.
yeah.
Yeah, Stormbreaker, at least we know that
You
as
just need
long
to be
as
strong.
your mind doesn't melt in the weight of the power of the weapon, you can wield it. So that's where you see that she has power levels that are very high. So we see them as a partner gallivanting across the galaxies and then helping people in need as Love and Thunder.
Mhm.
Post credit scene one is we see um uh Jane, after dematerializing upon her death, materializing in Valhalla, being greeted by Heimdall, which is kind of
Heimdall.
cool. So yeah, so so I think this was more fan servicey because both Natalie Portman and Heimdall did not like how they were used in the franchise. That's why they didn't want to come back in, one of the movies. But Taika was able to like reel them in back, clean up their character a little bit. So they're there. Post credit scene two, we see uh, Zeus,
Still alive.
busted chest and all, being treated so still alive, angry about how the world, how their followers have turned from fearing them and then loving them without even knowing if they were there now to just more angled to superhero. So we can theorize what the next movie or next arc would be, but it's safe to theorize like it's going to be gods against superheroes kind of thing, like gods killing superheroes or like beating them up because they're getting a little bit too much shine. And I love that they're using post-credit scenes as casting announcements now, because we see Zeus call upon one of his
Hercules.
sons to do it, which is Hercules, played by one of my fucking favorite characters, Brett Goldstein,
Oh my
Roy Kent from Ted Lasso. I was
fucking
very happy
yeah.
about this guy. He's gonna need to get a lot bigger, but I'm happy that's happening. So that is Thor, Love
Love
and
it.
Thunder.
Yeah.
Uh, CHUBAX, favorite storylines and things that you wish were done a little bit better in terms of storyline.
Yeah, no, I think you just nailed it in the head where they were a bit too loose. Like, they thought they saw what worked in Ragnarok, and then they just kept going back to it, and all made it too funny, maybe too slapstick, and I guess. in some scenes. For some reason, I don't know, there was something off with how they handled Jane as well.
Hmm.
Maybe in a different world, it would have been better if this was her movie. Like she was
Yeah,
only her, and then we get their combination, their tag team in the next, on the fifth one. You know,
I agree.
maybe that would have fleshed her out more. But yeah, there were great scenes, like you said, the montage or why they broke up. Um, Korg was always funny. I like the goats.
Mhm.
Uh,
Tooth
uh,
grinder and tooth gnasher.
I'm not a fan of the lightning bolt, or was it thunderbolt, lightning bolt? Uh,
So the name of the it is a lightning bolt, right? But the name of the lightning bolt weapon is thunderbolt.
I know, I'm not
It's
a
very confusing.
I'm not a fan of it. It doesn't look like a weapon. You know what I mean? It's kind of the microcosm of the movie. It looked like too much of a prop than how it looks like a
Yes.
weapon.
Hmm.
So, but I did love the Van Damme split. The first fight
Oh,
was funny and awesome.
it was funny that.
Uh, I liked the drama with the Stormbreaker and Mjolnir, but it went too
Oh,
much.
I totally skipped
It did
that
go too
because
much.
I love. So it's funny because this is a great rom-com movie because I
Uh,
love the Thor and Jane. I also love the fucking love quadrangle with Thor,
Mjolnir,
Mjolnir,
Stormbreaker.
Stormbreaker, and
Yeah.
Jane. It's like they so that's those so this one that worked really, really well for me. I really loved how it kind of like shined that's the comedy that I like. But I've been hearing a couple of different podcasts where some of them was like, this went a little too long, bro.
Yeah.
Like Stormbreaker just like
Sliding in.
slowly sliding in the frame like a
Uh,
jealous girlfriend. I love it. But I enjoy that.
yeah. I don't know. There are just some scenes where, like you said, I think they were lazy. But I did love Christian Bale. Like he really brought it. Like when he put his arm around Chris Hemsworth, like trying to talk to him. When he was scaring the kids, like in the when he kidnapped them, that was good. And I mean, he was justified in what he was doing. Fuck him, gods. Uh, but yeah. I'm curious where they're gonna go with this. If they're gonna go next, because I mean, with the daughter, if I was
Yeah.
if I was head in Marvel, maybe we've ran the Taika Waititi route. Let's go with fucking dramatic, like really
Mhm.
really dark family stuff next. If they're gonna do another Thor, play up that father daughter route, something like that. But yeah, yeah, I guess that's my thoughts. Those are my thoughts.
Uh, yeah, we discussed how this was a little bit too light and loose. It could have been a lot tighter. I think that's the risk that we take when we're doing a Taika Waititi movie because I researched a lot about this movie. Well, research meaning listen to a lot of other reviews podcast about this, and then we've been hearing a lot about um uh everyone's kids are in the movie. Like Love is Chris Hemsworth's daughter.
Oh, I didn't know that.
His wife. Oh yeah. So that's a cute part about it too. So, and then his wife Elena Pataki is in the movie as well. She is this pirate in the trailer. We see that he was kissing, but she was
Oh,
also
I
the
didn't know that as well.
yeah, she was also the in the montage of Thor going through different worlds and helping worlds. There was a wolf world. Like there's this wolf. Like she
Yeah,
was
making love on the
Thor and
wolf, on
this
top of
wolf
the
woman
wolf,
on the
on the.
wolf. That was Elena Pataki as well. Um, uh, um, Natalie Portman's kids was part of the group of people, tourists that are like taking selfies in front of New Asgard, and even Taika Waititi's kids was part of their kid was there too. So I understand why people love working with Taika because this is such a it's a cool thing to bring in your family. It's a joyous occasion. It's fun. So it's like it's all of those, but that did not translate to elevating the movie it is. Like
Yeah, but
I
I mean,
felt that
that's not what brought it down as well. It's just that the concept or maybe the writing wasn't as tight, you know.
100%.
Oh
And
wait, I
even
just remembered my favorite part is the Sam Neill Matt Damon play.
oh,
That was
so
awesome. I love that. That was
uh
funny for me.
part I love that running bit that they are doing, Matt Damon and Chris Hemsworth's older brother, you know,
Luke, is it
Matt Damon
Luke?
as Loki, maybe Luke, I forget,
Luke Hemsworth.
Luke Hemsworth as Thor, and then Sam Neill as Odin, and then this time they brought in Jenny McCarthy as Hela.
Ella. I was like,
So
who's the hot one they're gonna bring? Is
yeah, so it's kind of great. And then like even in the like when the kids were kidnapped, Matt Damon was like, at the time of this we need art, shall I write it?
No, and it's just funny that this land of gods and magic, and their play is like a grade school play. No
And
effects.
everybody seems to love him, and I love him. I hope they keep on continuing. I know what you're complaining about. It's very like, it's great. So that's kind of what I'm saying. But I think you're right. I think I've had enough Taika for this. I want a little bit more polish in the next store, because I do love the idea of this, semi OP person, and then your problems are not power levels. Your powers are, I mean, like he's super strong. He has a super strong axe, two of them, the hammer, but he was able to beat this person with words, right? And then the things that a big portion of this is not necessarily the monster stuff, kids kidnapping. It's like him dealing with his first love. It's kind of cool. So I like that idea. But this time I would hope that the next one will be more blockbustery. Like let's go back to giant explosions and hard,
Agreed. Agreed.
yeah.
What's the next Marvel?
Oh, good question. I think the
Nothing,
next
right?
thing
No
is
trailer.
Black Panther in
But
November.
we don't even have a trailer for that.
Well, this weekend, so the weekend that we're recording this episode is it's the Hall H panel of
SDCC.
yeah. So people were uh people are expecting that we're going to get a lot of, at least a first look of the Black Panther Wakanda Forever trailer, as well as the March movie coming, which is Ant-Man Quantumania.
Do
So
we have any idea who's is it Shuri for sure?
so there were rumors that came out that, yeah, Shuri, they didn't know how they were going to tackle the death of Chadwick Boseman, or at least this rumor that I read. But the one rumor that has been going around is Shuri one going to the ancestral plane to find um Chadwick or T'Challa, but instead finding
Killmonger.
Killmonger, and then there you go. So I'm fine with that.
If I get
It's
more
because
fucking
there's a lot
Michael B.
of
Jordan, I'm fucking in.
I am I'm just not a big fan of what's Shura's real name? Like
Yeah, she's had some issues.
she had some issues off camera about, like,
Vaccinations and stuff.
not the anti-vax and stuff like that, which it's difficult. But again, it's November. Black Panther Wakanda Forever is scheduled for November. So I think we need to get a little bit more trailers, right?
Yeah.
Like around this time.
Well, we'll just trust in the director. Yeah, hopefully he'll push through.
Yeah. Well, before we close out, uh, we have to provide our final thoughts and ratings about Thor: Love and Thunder. So I'll start with you, CHUBAX. What do you think about Thor: Love and Thunder?
I'll put it. I was gonna put it at a 7, but maybe at a 6 now.
Mm.
It's a 6. the lower end of the Marvel
Wow.
films. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like
Wow.
thinking about it. Like I'm not excited to watch it again. Like it was the opposite with Doctor Strange. Like I was dreading that, and then it came out fun, and I was excited that it's gonna drop at Disney Plus because I can watch it again with the kids, and we did have fun. And
Mhm.
this one is like, it's not like I'm dreading it, but I'm not excited, so I'll give it a 6.
That's
Re-
funny because I was thinking about my rating last night and I was thinking like I don't want to sound like I didn't like it, but I am also going to give it a 6. Like it is, objectively, even not seeing Ragnarok. For example, this is the first movie, like, take away the expectations that Ragnarok has set upon me.
Mhm.
It's still just nice. It's just fun. It's still above
Oh,
half. Like it
it's
is
still,
not,
according to our rating, it's still good. I still
it's still,
laughed and had fun
yeah,
and
I
like
I would
some of the
still
action.
I think this is also one of those movies that where I'm actually happy. I might actually do uh have this in the background because it's just a fun movie. It's light,
Mm-hmm.
there's jokes, it's colorful. Like I love so far in phase four. Of course, No Way Home is still my favorite movie. Like
Mm-hmm.
in phase four. I don't watch that all the time. It's quite heavy,
Mm-hmm.
right? I pop in Multiverse of Madness a little bit here. It's fun. But yeah, that's kind of like where I'm at right now. So I'm also gonna put it at a 6. So I guess we're quite aligned. Like,
Yeah.
too bad though. Too bad because like
Yeah. They could have,
it's Taika Waititi again. And then you have Jane and you have everybody back. So it's too bad.
especially with the
Um,
expectations, Mighty Thor. But yeah, that's
it's
it for Thor.
that is it for Thor and this particular episode. Again, thank you very much for staying with us to the end. Please feel free to interact with us. Any of our social channels, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Just follow us at +63HP. We'll reply to every comment you guys have. Also, we'd really appreciate if you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you are watching us on YouTube, if you're not, or if you're out, just like type in youtube.com/+3HP, hit that notification bell too so you get to be notified whenever any of our multitude of shows drop on our channel. And again, if you don't want to watch our faces, you just want to listen to us via podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Amazon. We're there at +63HP as well. Chubax, final device.
Yeah, I had fun discussing this, and hopefully we get news of the next Marvel movie soon. But yeah, thanks for joining us.
So thank you. Very excited about all the Hall H panels, all the rumors, all the new stuff. If we get clips, we get featurettes, we get trailers, you will be sure to be seeing it in our reactions as well. But with that, thank you very much. See you next time.